There we go. Right. So a big welcome to you all. Let's get into it. Right. The agenda for this evening. We're going to talk about the company, right? We're going to talk around the problems around us, which you'll connect with, no doubt. The products, we're going to show you some results. And then the last 5 minutes or so, we're going to talk about the opportunity with Herbalife. And you may have jumped on tonight just to find out a little bit about the company and the products and see some results. And that's great, right? But right now, we're living in this strange time where petrol is ridiculous, right? And our household bills are about to go up. And, you know, if you're running a household, average household, we got 2 cars, right? We got a 2-year-old son, right? But if you've got more kids, all of a sudden your outgoings have gone up an awful lot, right? And I got serious about this opportunity because I desperately needed to make an extra 300 to 500 pounds a month. It wasn't about getting rich, right? It was about not being broke for me, right? And so if right now an extra 300 to 500 pound a month would help with your family life, with your home life, then I'd encourage you to stick around to the end, right? Because you never know, right? It took me 16 years to decide this was for me. You might decide something different in the next 20 minutes. So a little bit about the company, right? Why Herbalife Nutrition? Because, you know, there's a lot of companies out there, there's a lot of opportunities out there, there's a lot of products out there. And when you're thinking about something as important as your health, and there's not many more things important than your health. We've been reminded that as a family recently. You have all the money in the world. And if you don't have your health, you don't have much, right? And so when it comes to your health, you've got to make sensible decisions. And if you're looking for a product, if you're looking for a company, wouldn't it make sense to find one with the right credibility, with the right history, with the right experience? And with Herbalife Nutrition, we got all of that. 40 years we've been around now, the #1 nutrition brand in the entire world. And we got all the things that big companies have, right? We're listed on the New York Stock Exchange. We're active in 96 countries around the world. There's a lot of companies out there with products, and you'll be lucky if they operate outside their first country, let alone 5 or 10 or 15 or 20. But we're approaching 100 countries that these products are licensed to be sold in. And of course, we're a multi-billion-dollar company. Okay, the reason for the success of the company is because of the results people get, and the reason people get results is because of the products. And we're lucky, you know, all these people on the screens, if you wanted to take a screenshot of that and go and Google them, then go and do that, right? But these are the experts behind our products, so that we as coaches don't need to be experts, right? Our job is to love, support, guide people, and the products do the thing, right? The body's the miracle. Right? When you feed the body rubbish, it tends to react in rubbish ways. When you give it great nutrition, it's amazing what happens. And so we're really proud to have, you know, over 300 of the world's leading doctors and nutritional scientists to put our products together. 50 PhDs from all the countries around the world. And last but not least, you know, Dr. David Heaver, who was voted Doctor of the Year 6 times. Right, so the credibility with Herbalife is just huge, and it gets better every single year. One of the things we're really proud of is something that we call our Seed to Feed initiative. Right, this is something that's more and more on consumers' radars. Is they want to know, right, how is the product made? Where do the ingredients come from? Okay, under what conditions are those ingredients grown? What's sprayed on them? And so as a company, this Seed to Feed initiative means that Herbalife Nutrition is in control of every step of the process. Where are the crops grown? What's sprayed on them? How are they harvested? How are they manufactured to the highest standards in the world? So they go from literally seed to the products that we have on our shelves and share with our customers. There's not many customers, there's not many companies on the planet that can boast that kind of process, right? So it's something we're really proud of. And because of that, because of our history, our legacy, our credibility, you know, we attract some of the leading athletes and some of the leading brands in the world. The chances are you've got some of these brands in your cupboard: Under Armour, Nike. We all know about the ATP Tour, the American Red Cross. You know, we've been working with Ronaldo now for a while. And people go, yeah, but I bet you pay him to use your products. And we go, yeah, of course we do, right? He's not sort of guy who does this stuff for free, right? But he could work with any nutrition company on the planet, right? And you can imagine he gets a few offers, and he chose Herbalife. And before Ronaldo, we had Messi, because Messi was better than him. Right now, he's the best. And before Messi, we had Beckham, most photographed sports person on the planet, running around with our name across his chest. And whether it's the Olympics, I think you have 28 Olympians at the last Olympics, national, international level athletes, they're all coming to Herbalife. More recently, our partnership with Tottenham Hotspur women. It just goes on, and it just adds to the credibility. And for anybody who wants to know, are the products any good? Right? None of these athletes would associate themselves with us if they weren't. The problems around us, this is kind of the sad bit, right? So I'm going to get through this bit as quickly as possible, but you only need to switch the TV on these days or open a newspaper. You'll be familiar with all of this, right? It's so easy to make the wrong choices these days, right? Over consuming high calorie, low nutrition foods, fizzy drinks and all that stuff, right? Deliveroo, Uber Eats, Just Eat. Listen, I've got them all on my phone, right? And anybody who says they haven't, they're lying, right? Because every now and then it's okay, right? If we weren't allowed to have a takeaway in Herbalife, I absolutely would not be in Herbalife, right? Or a pint, right? It's fast food for smart people. And the only problem is people are having a bit too much of that stuff, right? Because it's so convenient and because it's cheap, often cheaper than healthy foods, right? They find themselves in high calorie, high sugar, high carbohydrate, low nutrition foods, and that's creating all the problems around us, right? We're familiar now, right, of the last two terms, we're familiar with the term pandemic, epidemic, right? But long before the pandemic we just been through, there's been an obesity epidemic for a long time, right? And whereas we've just got a handle on one, the obesity epidemic just goes from bad to worse. And when people are, not just overweight, but all the things that come with it, 60 million diabetics, 4 million people die each year with cardiovascular disease. It's all sad, sad, sad stuff. If I asked you to raise your hands, have you or anyone you know been negatively affected by these things on the screens, right? Then all the hands would go up. And the sad truth is that so much of this could be prevented with a bit of help and guidance, with better nutrition, better habits, and that's what Herbalife is all about. Okay, like I said, Herbalife products are no miracle cure. It's amazing what will happen when you give the body everything it needs. So the solution, right? We're not egotistical enough to say that this is the only solution, right? But it's our solution, right? It's what helped me lose 2 stone 10 years ago and have kept it off ever since. Right, you saw, if you haven't seen in the chat, have a scroll back through the chat and see all the results that we're creating and all the fun that people are having doing it. For someone who's been around Herbalife as long as I have, 26 years, even though I wasn't open-minded to it for the first 16 years, it's amazing to see the products getting the credit that they are due. It feels like every week the company sends us an email and say, do you know about this award we've just won? Have you seen us featured in this magazine? And the credibility just stacks up, whether it's our sport nutrition products, best muscle builder, best sport nutrition, best breakfast, best snack, best skincare, best this, best that. It's, the people are voting for us, for our products all the time. And again, if you're looking for a company, if you're looking for a product to be associated with or just use, right, wouldn't it be worth choosing the ones that are already winning all of the rewards? So I think this picture is meant to represent that products are for everyone, and they are, whether we got a 2-year-old son, right? And initially I used the products to lose weight. Then I used the products for a long time to maintain my weight. Every now and then I go on a bit of a bike ride and I use it for that. For the last 2 years, I don't know where I would be if it wasn't for the nutrition and energy products of Herbalife. Right? Sometimes the only goal was to make it to Thursday. With any had young kids, it's like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday when they slept an hour and a half a night, and you just wake up, give me my Herbalife tea now. Right? I need the stuff that Ronaldo's using, a double shot of it, right? And so it doesn't matter, right? Often, I would say the biggest misconception of Herbalife is that people think we're a weight loss company, and more people come to us for weight loss than ever before, right? And more people come to weight loss than anything else, but it might just be energy, right? Maybe you want to gain weight. Maybe you want to build muscle and drop body fat. Maybe you want to drop a dress size or a belt size. People come and stay with Herbalife for many, many different reasons. And whatever it is for you, we're confident that we can help you. It all starts with just the basic, nutrition building blocks. The body needs the macronutrients, the micronutrients, the vitamins and minerals, fiber, water, the phytonutrients, which is becoming more and more of a buzzword recently. And most people in the modern diet don't get all of those things from the food they eat. Right now, by the way, can you? Absolutely, you can. Right? Anybody that says you can't get everything you need from the food you eat, they're not telling you the truth. You can. It's just difficult. If you're not following all the guidelines, 2 fresh portions of ocean fish a week, and your vitamins, your fruits and your vegetables, which used to be 3 portions a day, then 5 in Europe. Some places it's 7 and 9 portions a day, right? If you're not doing that, the chances of hitting your macro and micronutrients are pretty slim. The world is waking up now to the idea of supplementation and turning to brands like Herbalife to fill the gaps in their nutrition, because most people have them. We have our core products that we use every single day. Additional products, more and more people are coming to Herbalife because they're vegan or vegetarian, okay, and looking for those options. Really smart snacking. Our protein bars and our protein chips should be illegal, because nothing that tastes that good should be good for you, right? They're addictively good. Targeted nutrition, gut health is a big one. Heart health, immunity. For the last 2 years, a lot of people talking about immunity and helping protect yourself against all sorts of stuff. All of these products we have to help all sorts of people. Our Herbalife 24 range, sport nutrition for the very best, 120 sponsored athletes around the world. If you are into your sport nutrition, if you're a professional athlete, you'll understand how important it is to be backed by a company or a facility called Inform Sport. Right? If you're a professional athlete, your products need to be certified by them, and ours are. Okay, and it doesn't matter, right, whether you are an athlete, okay, or just somebody who loves the gym, right, or somebody who still loves their sport. If you want to perform better, recover quicker, if you want to get more bang for your buck when it comes to your workouts, then fueling that workout before, during, and after is going to make a big difference to the results that you're getting. And of course, it means that we get to work with the Ronaldos. Heather Jackson at the front there, one of the leading female Iron women triathletes on the planet, fueling herself with Herbalife. It never stops. Right? In general, we help people in 3 key areas. We could do a poll on here. In fact, I'll ask you in the chat, right? There's 400 people listening, which is amazing, right? I'll ask you in the chat right now, right? If you're already using Herbalife, right? Before Herbalife, what did you have for breakfast? Nothing, right? Was you a breakfast skipper, or was you a toast and jam person, or did you in full English, or did you have, I don't know, maybe you did have a healthy, balanced breakfast? Watch it go. Unbelievable, right? We know that the huge majority of people are breakfast skippers. And if I ask you the next question, what's the most important meal of the day? Everyone goes, breakfast. So they don't match up. So we have a way to straight away give people the healthiest, most balanced, nutritious, great tasting breakfast first thing in the morning. And you know what? If they get their breakfast right, they might just get other things right through the day as well, right? Unbelievable. 5 coffees from Alex for breakfast, right? Nutrition in a glass right there. So yes, maybe you just get started with a breakfast program. Weight management, like I said, when 60% of the population are overweight and 25% are clinically obese, of course, we help a lot of people with weight loss and sport nutrition and fitness too. But it's really important that you understand that Herbalife is more than just a product, right? The product is what we get to put out there, okay? What people get is so much more than a product. When was the last time you bought something and it came with a community of like-minded, positive people who want you to succeed, right? And the support and the coaching and the mentoring and the guidance, and then all the results that we have. And yes, the chances are you're going to get offered some free fitness and meal plans and all of that stuff too. Herbalife really is unique in that every single product comes with a personal coach who's going to follow up with you, who's going to ask you, would you like the taste, and is it working for you? And all of those things that you just don't get from anywhere else. And because of that, people get results, right? Everybody loves to hate to show their own picture, right? But it's usually our own result which ties us to the company and to the product, and after 16 years makes you go, okay, there might be something in it, right? And this was me, right? On the left in the middle, this was someone who skipped breakfast, right? Save the calories, don't have time. It's particularly when you want to lose weight, right? Skipping breakfast is mental, right? So I'd skip breakfast, meal deal for lunch, couple of pints after lunch, wasn't prepared in the evening, so possibly a takeaway, probably a microwave meal. I was on the road a lot of the time. This is someone, by the way, who was going to the gym 3 to 4 times a week, trying to out-train a bad diet. It's impossible. And slowly over the time, you don't end up like that overnight, right? It took me 12 years from the age of 18 to the age of 30 to get to that point. And then I decided enough was enough. Right? So I listened to my mum for the first time. So, right, let me give it a go. I lost 2 stone in no time at all. Everyone around me was like, what happened to you? In fact, you know what they actually say? They go, you ill. you know, when you lose weight and start looking different, looking like than you have for a long time. Is everything okay? I'm like, I've never been healthier in my entire life. And then more recently, our son came along. I don't know if you can see in the very bottom right-hand side of the picture. That's our son, Rocket, and everything changes all over again. Right? I wanted to lose weight for my own ego. I wanted to look better. Okay. Now I want to live as long as I can, as healthy as I can, as vibrant, as energetic as I can. Because by the time, you know, I'm 40 years old, he's 2. I'm going to be 50 when he's 12. I'm going to be 60 when he's 22. And I want to be doing all the things that an active dad does with an active son. Right. So now it's just about living as long as I can, as well as I can. And there's loads more, right? Emma, you with us tonight? Look at Sam, Emma. Can we unmute Emma? Where's Emma? There she is. I'll see if I can. There you go. You there, Em?
Hello, can you hear me?
Go on, yeah, loud and clear. Tell us about your journey, Em.
Hi guys. Yeah, so as Matt says, my name is Emma. I actually started using the products about 8 years ago now, so it's been a very long time. It was actually my husband Phil who brought the products home, and it took about 6 months for me to actually try them. It was only when I saw his energy and difference in him that I thought, okay, all right, I'll give this a shot. I was working in A&E at the time. I was doing about 50, 60-hour day, not days, weeks. I was doing 56-hour weeks, 12, 13-hour shifts, and I was just absolutely exhausted. I was so tired. I had extremely poor gut issues. And it literally took probably a few weeks on the products for me to notice such difference in my energy, the way I felt, like the way I was performing at work. So yeah, like that was this is actually my second result. I had a little girl, Cora, who is also 2, so I also have a toddler, and I put on about 3.5 stone in my pregnancy. I did use the products all the way through my pregnancy, but ballooned weight sort of towards the end, and this was about 2 weeks ago, the final result. So I have lost nearly 4 stone since I had Cora, and now she is a 2-year-old running around, and I feel amazing. My mindset, my everything, like my energy, you know, and I just cannot give these products enough credit. They are incredible. If you're on the fence, just try them. 1, 2, 3 weeks, just give them a go, and you'll see the support of the communities, your coaches, just makes a world of difference. And I will use these products for the rest of my entire life. I hope that's enough for you, Matt.
Perfect.
But yeah, you can see my result there.
Awesome job, Emma. Thank you very much. Jody with an incredible result as well. Our man Warren, absolutely shredded to bits. I'm going to look like that. Never, ever. Benny, are you with us, mate? I can see you've got your hands raised. I'm going to try and unmute you, Benny. Are you there?
Yes, mate, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear, mate. Tell us what happened to you.
So I got started, guys, on the products just coming up to 9 years ago now. As you can see, I'm the guy in the middle. So the picture on the left, I was very overweight, out of shape, unhappy. Got started on the products literally to fill the gaps in my nutrition. So I used to skip breakfast. I used to snack on crisps and chocolate throughout the day. So I started using the products to have a healthy breakfast and a healthy afternoon snack around some amazing whole foods at the same time. In my first 4 months, I went on to lose 42 pounds in weight and 18% body fat. I've now maintained those results for the last 9 years. And now I am just working on different results all the time. The main one now being healthy aging, because I'm now 46 years old. So that is me, mate, feeling great.
Good job, Ben. Thank you so much. And Lee with a great result as well. Listen, we could fill up this whole half an hour just showing you results and having people tell their stories. If you want to see more results, go back to the person that invited you on here tonight and they'll overwhelm you with results, right? It's non-stop. And so at this point, right, I don't know who you are and I don't know why you tuned in, right? But we do know that people tune in because they're looking for a solution for their health and weight issues, right? Whether you realize it or not, you just found it. And so if all you want to do is get started with the products, go back to the person who invited you on, right? They'll be able to put together a personalized program for you, right? To meet your needs, your goals, and of course your budget as well. And if you're really serious about getting a result and you know you're going to be using these products for a while, then speak to the person who invited you on about the preferred customer pack. It simply means you get a discount on the products, 15 to 25, actually goes up to 35%. And if you're going to be using the products, you might as well do it at a discount, right? You pay £26. It's a bit like a Amazon Prime type thing, apart from you don't pay it monthly, you pay it once. And then you get a discount and next day delivery and free delivery on all of your products, right? So listen, at this stage, right, I would encourage everybody to stay on, because for the reasons I said at the beginning, I don't know many people right now that wouldn't benefit from an extra £500 a month, right, just to pay their lecky. For a lot of people, it's going up pretty seriously on the 1st of April, right? Or to fill the car up with petrol. But if you've got what you need, right, with regards to the products and the company and the credibility and all the rest of it, you can jump off now, right? Just go back to the person who invited you on and ask them any questions you have, right? We can't give you everything in 22 minutes, right? But ask them all the questions you want. They'll be able to answer them and you can get started from there, right? But for those who are sticking on, which is everybody, I lost a grand total of 3 people then, right? So for the 399 people that are still on, let's talk about the Herbalife nutrition opportunity. And I'll just share very briefly, you know, what it did for me. I told you, right, I was skeptical and didn't want to do this thing for 16 years. And I actually went to a Herbalife event, you know, when we was allowed to get in rooms together and meet people. And at that event, I saw a lot of success. I saw a lot of positivity. I saw a lot of people who had stories that started like mine. They were skeptical and they didn't think they were an entrepreneur and they didn't want to do a business, right? So many people go, no, I don't want to do a business. I didn't want to do a business either. For all the coaches watching, did you have the same feeling at the beginning? I don't want to do a business, right? Nobody wants to do a business, right? And it doesn't have to be like that for anyone. And so I had all the reasons in the world I wasn't going to do it. I spent my working life from 18 to 30 as an IT professional. Do you know what? I didn't hate my job. It just didn't pay me enough for the life I was leading. And so for the last week of the month, every month, I lived like a pauper, because I lived the first week of the month after getting paid like a king. Right? I don't know if any of you can relate to that. And it always felt like the month was a little bit longer than the money in my bank account. And so what I did over 12 years is every month, a little bit overdraft, a little bit of loan, a little bit of credit card. And I got to 30 years old, £50,000 in debt, overweight, and just something had to change. Right? My boss wasn't going to give me a pay rise. There was nowhere to go in my career at the time. The bailiffs were knocking at the door. No one around me knew how bad things were, because I'm an egotistical bloke and I didn't want to tell anyone. I wanted to fix it. And it took all of that for me to go, right, I'm going to give Herbalife a go. And that's when I started using the products properly. And I almost didn't want the products to work, because I thought, if they don't work, at least then I can walk away and forget about this whole thing, go and find something else to do. And then when I got the result that I did, part of me was gutted, because I was like, now I'm going to have to help other people, because it almost became then like a duty. Like, how can I keep this secret from others? I know other people that want to lose weight. I know other people that don't have great confidence, that would like to look and feel a little bit better. Can't keep it to myself now. And so I started sharing with a few friends and family, and made £320 in my first month, not doing a business. I didn't have time. I had a full-time job. I was commuting back and forward from London to South Wales. I didn't have time. I didn't have the inclination. I wasn't an entrepreneur, and I made 320 quid. And that's when I realized this entire thing was so much smarter than me. The products were smarter than me. The opportunity was smarter than me. And that 320 quid in my first month was the difference between like surviving and not. But between staying ahead of the bills and sinking a little bit deeper into debt. And I decided then that I'd give Herbalife everything I had for 2 years. And if after 2 years it wasn't working out for me, I'll walk away forever. And what actually happened is within 2 years, my part-time Herbalife business, which wasn't a business because I wasn't doing a business because I wasn't an entrepreneur, but my part-time Herbalife business was paying me as much as my full-time IT job. Right now, I wasn't particularly well paid, but when you're doing something an hour a day and it's paying you the same amount as your job that you do 8, 9, 10 hours a day, that really got my attention. Within 3 years, I was entirely debt-free. And that was probably the single biggest breakthrough of my life. I didn't realize just how much that was hanging over me and how much it was costing me my daily happiness. I don't know if any of you can relate to having debts that, are just a little bit beyond you. But once that debt was being cleared, and once it was cleared, it was like my whole life started again. And from there, it's been an absolute whirlwind of a journey. I'll explain to you where we got to today, but there's different opportunities with Herbalife. Some of you are customers right now listening in, and if you think the products taste good now, wait till you're getting them at half price. So something happens when you get these products at half price, they taste even better, right? Am I wrong, coaches? I'm not, right? You can get up to 50% discount on these products. Right? Now, you don't often get there just by eating them yourselves, but if you just helped a few people, you get to 50% discount and everything changes. If you want to make a little bit of extra money, right, 300 to £1,000 a month. I mean, £1,000 a month is a lot of extra money for most people. I was desperate for 300 to 500, right? I didn't even think about this, right? I couldn't even envisage making £3,000 a month, £5,000. £5,000 a month was twice what I was earning in my full-time job. Right, £20,000 a month, that's something that happens to footballers. That's never going to happen to me. Right, but all of these, I know all of these opportunities existed in Herbalife. I just didn't have the belief and confidence in myself that one day we might be able to achieve it. We talked about it. You've got an exploding company with the world's best products, and then you've got us as coaches who fulfill the demand of, the problems that we shared around us. Without us coaches, and without more coaches, we can't fulfill our mission of making the world a healthier and happier place. So what do we do, right? If we're not entrepreneurs, and forgive me, because some of you are, right? I'm just speaking for myself. I wasn't, right? If we're not entrepreneurs, if we're not business people, then what do we actually do? Well, number one, we use the product to get results. Most of you tuning in tonight, you're already doing that part of the journey, right? By sharing our journey, inspiring other people, by showing them what we're doing and what the results other people are getting, then people want to get started. Yeah, we attend some trainings, we learn the business. A lot of that is done online these days. We offer support to our customers and our members. That's often just texting your friend and saying, how are you getting on? Right, because your customers are often your friends. And we teach people to do what we do. Right, it is a business, but it's such a very simple business. You'll get supported every step of the way. There's events all over the country every single month. You have a sponsor, that's the person who introduced you. If they're rubbish, go to the person that introduced them, right? They might be new as well, right? But you'll find all the support that you need. There's weekly calls, Facebook, WhatsApp, Telegram, wherever you want to do it, wherever you're already spending your time. Right? Hands up if you spend too much time on Facebook, right? The entire world, right? Hands up if it's paying you any money. Exactly. Imagine if you could get paid for just being on Facebook and helping people and being part of the community, right? It's all there to take advantage of. And the reward of doing that, of using the product, sharing the products, of getting some education and sharing it with others is, of course, we look and feel better. That was a reward in itself for me in the early days, right? We get healthier friends and family. We can grow a business. more time freedom, which is a big one for me right now. I'll be honest, when I was 30 years old in a career, I just wanted enough money to get out of that career. Right? I was money driven, right? And make me sound like a bad person, but I needed money to get out of what I was doing. Right? Today, it's all about the time freedom. I wake up every day with our little boy. I take him to nursery. I pick him up from nursery. We have Wednesdays off. We get to do all the things we want to do because of the income that Herbalife allows us to create. There's different discount levels as and when you get started. Everyone starts a distributor, 25% discount on the products. You can grow it to 35, 42, 50%, as I said. And that means that if you reach the supervisor level, then, and you had 10 customers on a pretty standard plan, that's how you make an extra £500 a month. You understand? It's not hundreds of customers, right? It's not a big thing. It's something you can do very, very part-time. And, you know, a question to ask yourself after this call, when you're making your decision on what you want to do going forward, is genuinely, what would an extra £500 a month mean to you? For me, it was simple. It's the difference between the bailiffs at the door and not. And that was enough for me to take this thing seriously. And if you can do it, then you can teach it. Right? Again, I was never going to do it. I was never going to use the products. I started using the products. I was never going to have customers. I started having customers. I was never going to have a team. I started to build a team. And that would be familiar with a lot of people, a lot of coaches listening in tonight. If you can do it, you can teach it. If you can teach it, a whole world of opportunity opens up in the Herbalife career ladder. Right? I'm not going to talk through the incomes that are on here, but you know, you can see for yourself. These are monthly incomes. From the day I decided to get serious about Herbalife, September the 18th, 2011, right? It's burned in my memory because it's my birthday, my 30th birthday, and everything changed. From the day I made a decision, it took me 11 months to reach the Get team in Herbalife. You can see what that represents, £3,000 to £8,000 a month. That was life-changing for me. Within 26 months, I was a Millionaire team member. At Millionaire team, I went to an Herbalife event and I met a lady in the room that day that's gone on to become my wife and the mother of our child. I got a lot more than I bargained for when I got serious about Herbalife, right? And then a few years ago, we qualified to the president's team. You can see what that represents as a monthly income. There's been months in the last couple of years where we've earned more in a month in Herbalife than my salary paid me in a year as an IT professional. And I share that not to impress you. Please don't ever be impressed by how much money someone earns, but to impress upon you that I was skeptical, I was negative, I was overweight, I wasn't a business person, I wasn't an entrepreneur, I had no background in health and nutrition, and just step by step, this company and my fellow coaches and colleagues and my sponsor molded me into somebody who is made to look a lot better than they actually are because of this incredible company. Right, so I'm forever ever grateful. Who's it for? Listen, we put these on here and I'm lucky. I know all of these people, right? Different backgrounds. I was an IT professional. Ricky was a lift engineer, Haley beautician, Adam a lorry driver, James a personal trainer, Adam account manager, Sam Manning was in retail management, Michelle was a full-time mum, is still a full-time mum, Donna nursery owner, Warren project manager, Dean Wheatley mechanic, Paul Hodder IT sales, Chris Bell football coach. There's people on it tonight who I know were radiologists, right, working all the time in a hospital for serving other people. And you know, today is a Millionaire team member with Herbalife, right? It doesn't matter. The most beautiful thing about Herbalife for me is it doesn't discriminate. It doesn't matter about your past. It doesn't matter about your current situation. If you just give us a little bit of time and attention, it's amazing what you could achieve given the right opportunity, and you have the right opportunity. So now I want to introduce someone. Where's Becca? If we can unmute Becca, would be amazing. They are a couple of,
can you hear me?
Millionaire team members in Herbalife and just have a fantastic story. Sorry, Brex, I'll put your wrong name on there, but
it's
you
all
know,
right. That's my maiden name. We won't tell Nate. We won't tell the hubby. Yeah, so it's really funny listening to Matt, because everything he said was everything I said when I started. I didn't want a business. I didn't have the time. I was a full-time pub area manager. I was working 70, 80-hour weeks out on the road. I was living off coffee. I was skipping breakfast. And I literally just got started on the products and fell in love with how I felt on them. Actually, just the energy I had, actually starting to like how I looked and wanting to look in the mirror. And I think like any girls will relate, when you find something you love, you just end up talking about it. So I remember when the opportunity was sort of suggested to us, and I was like, no, absolutely no chance. I do this alongside my husband, Nathan, and you know, it was actually him that was like, come on, Bex, let's go listen. And I was like, you're mad. Like the Sunday, like it was basically like this, but in a room. It was a Sunday. I was like, that's my one sort of like half a day I had to myself after a busy working on the road. And he was like, let's just go and listen. And I'm so, so grateful for the stories that I heard that day, because up until that point, I was a bit of a career whore. I genuinely thought that the only way to be a success in life was to just commit and throw yourself into learning, working up the hierarchy, building a career. And that's all I'd ever been told. It was all I ever knew. So when someone came to me with Herbalife Nutrition, I was like, it's a con, it's a scam, you're all just frauds, like go away. That's not how real hardworking people build a future. And now I'm one of them people, because I was just completely amazed by the community, the support, and Herbalife has changed our lives. Like I've literally gone from not even just the physical results, that's my second result, a bit like Emma, had our baby boy. He's not a baby, he's a toddler, he's over 2. I still say baby. We're expecting our second child at the moment as well. And, you know, we've just been able to, you know, this is quite materialistic, but the family house, the cars, you see all of that. But what you don't see is, you know, my boss used to say, you've got autonomy over your diary. You can pick and choose the meetings you do, where you go. The truth be told, he still dictated what I did, where I went, how many hours I worked a week, what holidays I got. I never truly had autonomy until Herbalife Nutrition showed me a different way. And now I'm a stay-at-home mom. I get to share and help other people. And, you know, I used to go to work events and used to hate it because I used to miss out on time away from home. And now we go to work events with Herbalife and just adore it, because it's just a joy to be around everyone, to learn, to develop as a person. I'm the most confident, happiest in who I truly am, not someone that a boss wants me to be, just being myself. And I can only hold that credit to Herbalife Nutrition support community that we're in. And it's just the best. So, you know, I was skeptical, no against the business, don't have the time. We built it part-time alongside a full-time jobs to the global expansion team, went on maternity leave, never returned back. And I'm so grateful. Like I said, second baby on the way. I get to wake up, be the mom, be present, have the choices over my time I never thought possible. And yeah, I just wouldn't change it for the world. I'm so glad that Matt was actually one of those stories on that day who sort of opened my eyes. And when Herbalife paid us that first check, I actually realised it wasn't like a fake monopoly money. It was actually genuine. And that first check was £16, guys. But that was the moment I realised when I went, okay, Herbalife is real. And that was just £16. So honestly, even if you're just helping like 1 or 2 people or whatever, just get started, because you fall in love with it. You want to share it, and it can change as much as you want it to change.
Amazing, Bex. Thank you so much. Awesome job. So listen, we're wrapping up now, and I don't know what you came on here looking for. Maybe you came with your own free will, maybe you was bullied into it by a friend or family member, right? But hopefully, if nothing else, you understand who we are and what we do a little bit better, right? And so your options now, listen, do nothing, right? You don't like Herbalife, you don't like wellness, you don't like me, then don't join. It's cool, right? We're a $10 billion company. We're doing okay, right? This isn't about persuading or convincing anyone, right? It's about presenting you with the facts and you make a decision from there, right? Maybe if you're just a guest on tonight, you haven't even tried a shake, right? Try the product, right? Because people go, what does it taste like? It tastes amazing. How will I feel? You'll feel amazing. But we can only tell you that. You have to feel it to understand it, right? If you're a customer right now, and we know a lot of customers get invited on because they got a great result, they're telling their friends and family, they're doing all the right things, but they don't want to do a business. None of us did. It's okay, right? There's no cloak and dagger stuff here. It just means that instead of paying for your products, you could make the money to pay for them, right? Just by helping a few people. So you can become a coach with Herbalife, a member, you can join the team. You can go as quickly or as slow as you want with this entire business. It's entirely up to you. And, you know, here's the catch for those of you looking for one, right? It costs £42 to become a distributor with Herbalife. That's for your license, right? To be able to buy the products at 25 to 50% discount. And there's a tub of shake in there and the spoon. And there's some other stuff in there and a shaker and loads of stuff, right? It's a £1 million business in a box. I remember when I finally got round to give me one of those memberships. In my wildest dreams, £500 a month would change my life, and I didn't even believe I'd be able to do that. First month, 320, and you know, 6 figures every single year for a long, long time. It's almost have to pinch ourselves to believe it, right? So amazing things happen from small decisions. I'd encourage you to trust the person who invited you on here, to take that small leap of faith and just see where it takes you to. Okay, thank you so much for your time. For those of you going to go watch the football, enjoy the football. For those of you going to go do something more productive, go do something more productive. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much and good night. Good luck with your decisions. Cheers, everyone.